Sol Campbell says £60 million player Arsenal want to sign is even more entertaining to watch than Kylian Mbappe. Sol Campbell has named who he believes are the most entertaining players in world football today. The Arsenal legend is a big admirer of technical, naturally talented players. After all, he named Paul Gascoigne as the greatest midfielder ever. Speaking to Goal, Campbell has now named who he believes are the 5 most entertaining players in world football, and he made quite the claim about one Arsenal target. Matheus Cunha has been linked to Arsenal, and Campbell believes he's the 5th most entertaining player in the world. However, in at number 1 was none other than Alexander Isak, as Campbell named the Newcastle ace as the most entertaining player in the world today. Sol Campbell names Alexander Isak as the world's most entertaining player. Campbell named who he believes are the 5 most entertaining players on the planet. Campbell's list was heavily weighted towards the Premier League, as Matheus Cunha, Pedro Neto, and Declan Rice made the cut. Rice has earned huge praise recently after his goals against Atletico Madrid. Meanwhile, Kylian Mbappe was in 2nd place in Campbell's list, just behind Isak. Isak is Arsenal's top target this summer, and the £60 million man is a joy to watch on his day, it must be said. Alexander Isak compared to Kylian Mbappe. Campbell says that Isak is a more entertaining player than Mbappe, and there's a case to be made that he's simply a better player. Full stop these days. Mbappe has outscored Isak, granted, but the Newcastle ace has more assists while he's playing in a less dominant team in a more competitive league. Mbappe is a world superstar who is doing it in the Champions League too, but make no mistake about it, Isak is on that level. In terms of entertainment value, Isak and Mbappe are quite simply 2 of the best in the world, but they're also lethal in terms of output. There may not be a better signing Arsenal could make than Isak this summer. Arsenal press conference live. Mikel Arteta on Real Madrid. Partey fitness, injuries, team news live coverage of Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of Arsenal's Champions League clash against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Mikel Arteta faces the media ahead of his Arsenal side's attempt to knock the UEFA Champions League holders out of the competition in their own stadium. They hold a 3-goal lead from the first leg, but in such a historic ground. Football fans around the world know anything is possible here. The positive news that Arteta is sure to be asked about is the fact that Thomas Partey and Ben White were both spotted in training on Tuesday morning. The former was forced off early against Brentford, while White never even made the squad. We will also hear from one of the Arsenal players ahead of the match too. It is the first time since Thierry Henry scored in the Spanish capital in 2006 that any Gunners star has stepped foot inside this ground. Jude Bellingham reveals one thing Arsenal did that surprised Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham has admitted that Declan Rice's free kick double was the only thing that surprised Real Madrid in their 3-0 Champions League defeat to Arsenal. All square at 0-0 at the break, the Gunners took the lead just before the hour mark with Rice curling in an unstoppable free kick beyond Thibaut Courtois. The midfielder then added a second free kick 12 minutes later as he arrowed a powerful drive into the top corner of the Real Madrid shot-stopper's goal. Rice has demonstrated his quality over a dead ball a number of times since joining Arsenal from West Ham, but he has never really had the opportunity to showcase his free kick prowess with others usually standing over the ball. Speaking ahead of the second leg tie between the sides in Spain, Bellingham revealed that he had never seen his England teammate produce something like that with free kicks before. Carlo Ancelotti could scrap Real Madrid plan to stop Bukayo Saka. Carlo Ancelotti has 2 big decisions to make ahead of Real Madrid's clash against Arsenal. Los Blancos will host Mikel Arteta's side at the Santiago Bernabeu on Wednesday night for the second leg of the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal. The Gunners stormed past Real Madrid in the first leg at the Emirates Stadium last week. Declan Rice scored 2 brilliant free kicks before Mikel Merino put the final nail in the coffin. Arsenal have secured a 3-goal lead ahead of their trip to the Spanish capital, with a place in the semi-finals up for grabs. While Bukayo Saka didn't get on the score sheet, he caused Ancelotti's side numerous problems. The Hale End graduate, who's recently returned from a hamstring injury, enjoyed his duel against David Alaba, twisting him inside and out. Arsenal reporter lineups versus Real Madrid. Arsenal take on Real Madrid in the second leg of their UEFA Champions League clash in the Bernabeu. It will be one of the most famous nights in recent Arsenal history as they look to build on the astonishing 3-goal lead they earned at the Emirates Stadium last week. While their clash with Brentford at the weekend did not offer the victory that Mikel Arteta may have wanted from the game, it did mean he could offer some rotation to his team, who are well prepared for the midweek battle ahead. There were concerns over both Thomas Partey and Ben White. However, both have been spotted in training ahead of the flight to the Spanish capital. With this in mind, Football.London's writers take a look at who they would start to try and overcome Los Blancos. Every word Mikel Arteta said on Partey, White, Jorginho injuries, Arsenal draw, and title race. Mikel Arteta was naturally frustrated not to take a win into his all-important European midweek foray as his side were held to a 1-1 draw with Brentford. A rotated side had Real Madrid in mind for the second week in a row and sadly failed to win. However, there was a bigger blow, which was an injury suffered by Thomas Partey, which Arteta did give a little, but not much clarity on. He also discussed Ben White and Jorginho, who suffered issues before and during the game respectively. Well, after the equalizer, especially because we played with 10 men, a lot, but even with 10 men, I think we tried and we had two quite clear situations to finish the action better. I think we have to be critical with ourselves, especially the way we concede the goal. Again, at Brentford, you know what happens. You have a free kick, the goalie is going to put it there. From there, trying to get a throw in, from there, trying to get a corner, and then once you clear the ball, it's a second ball game. And in that second ball game, we didn't defend the space close to the taker well enough, and then it's a lot to it because they did that really well. And it's our fault. Did you pre-plan when you were going to make your substitutions today because of load management, or were you reacting to the flow of the game? No, we had an idea because we know certain players that we picked to end the starting lineup that they could not be able to finish the game. So we had two eyes open with that one. We didn't expect the issue with Thomas that we had to take him out. And then for sure, we didn't expect what happened with Jorginho that we ended up playing with 10 men. Declan seemed to be playing in quite an advanced position today. He scored 2 goals in the league this season. Have them 2 free kicks against Real Madrid maybe whet the appetite for more from an attacking perspective? Yes, for sure. Every time you score a goal after, you have the feeling the next one you can score again. I think he had an unbelievable action as well in the goal he scored today. Running the ball in open space until the right moment to release Thomas and leave him 1-against-1 situation with the keeper. And I think a really strong performance again. You said about playing with 10 men. What did you mean by that? Playing with 10 men across the game? That we had to play with 10 men when Jorginho went out. Just picking up on Declan there and his performance, the running power he showed. Was he still carrying that foot injury because of the sheer strength he showed across that game? No, he was fine yesterday. He trained with normality. He wasn't feeling any pain. That's why we put him on the start. Did you feel that what lies immediately ahead in Madrid was in the atmosphere today? I'm not saying you were over the players' minds, but I don't know. The atmosphere was different to Tuesday, that's for sure. I don't know if it was playing in the back of the crowd. For us as professionals, we know the importance of that. Today, what we wanted to do was increase the probability of us really challenging for what we are looking for in the Premier League. With that result, obviously it's more unlikely to happen. Just in terms of your own players, was it in their minds going to happen? I think the players know that when you come to the Premier League and the position we play today, how it's going to be and what it requires. It requires your best every time to win. Just quickly, the tackle on Martinelli in the first half, obviously we saw your reaction to that. Can you just talk a little bit about that, please? Mikel, is the season the Champions League now as simple as that? I know mathematically, yeah, we still have 6 games to play in the Premier League, which are going to be really important. But for sure, now it's all about winning. Can I just check, what was Thomas Partey's injury? Sorry? Yeah, he felt something, so we didn't want to take any risks. What was it? Something? Is the initial diagnosis of Thomas that you think he'll be okay for Wednesday? We don't know. I haven't spoken to the doctors yet, so they will check him now and see how he is. Can I just ask, with Ben, obviously injured in training, are you hoping he'll be okay for Wednesday? Again, we don't know. So he could not be in condition to be in the squad today and be selected. So we have a few days, but we'll have to wait and see. Jorginho is ribs or something? It looks like it, so I don't exactly know. But yeah, the problem is breathing, so I'd say he could not carry on. With that running power that Dec has, obviously yesterday you said he has so many different tools to kind of bring Arsenal up to the box. Is that one where, I guess because you're not getting as many open situations as you did for that goal, you're not seeing as often? Is that a reason why?